the goal for this is, for me, it's going to be funny to watch my first run back, you know? And it's also going to be very helpful um, for, you know, newer runners. And I'm going to be going through a lot of the strats that I did in this that are like a new runner sort of thing to do, and I'm going to be trying to show what is better. I'm going to be showing if world record messes up, I'll be like comparing what I do here to like my world record. Anyway, yeah. So here we go. So already, yeah, major mistake here. So basically, at the start, you want to be doing at the start, this is going to be a very long stream, I feel. You want to be doing 5. Oh wait, no, it's 4. You want to be doing 4 neutral pogos, and then you jump. Whereas before I did 3, and you can do 3, and then you have to do 2 on that lower ledge there, which is slightly slower. But yeah, anyway. And there also, with the breaking the wall, you want to do a pogo on the last hit on the wall, because that moves you forward. You want to do a neutral pogo through that wall. Yeah, also here, you want to be going under this platform instead of over it, because it's faster. Yeah, that's all fine. Normally, if you're fast enough as well, you actually end up pogoing that moss grub. But yeah. You can not mantle on that little bit there as well. And you can do 2 neutral pogos on that there. Normally you should be faster than that moss grub, so you can get another pogo in. Yeah, this is fine. Nowadays I end up doing 1 pogo and I aim. I can't show my mouse cursor, but I don't think. But can I draw? Am I able to draw? I'm not good enough at OBS for this shit. Anyway, so that there's the first big bush. You kind of want to aim to pogo that. And then you do the boost. So this boost is fine. But yeah, this is just boring, very boring walking, really. Yeah, I just missed out a bunch of neutral pogos here. That's literally it. You're gonna see me mess up neutral pogos a lot, but it's whatever. And you can do. Yeah, there's so much walking because I'm scared of like messing up and falling. Yeah, I'm just like missing out on neutral pogos really. Yeah, that's a fine boost, like, that's it. Oh, yo. Oh, yeah. That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Sub Ash, sub Ash. Twitch chat overlay on OBS. Ah, that's kind of a Siebes. So, yeah. So, now we get to the Moss Mother fight. So, this is probably going to be very bad. Yeah. So, basically everything I do here is wrong. Yeah, I have no positive things to say about that fight. Okay, so now let's let me make this bigger actually. Okay, now if we go to world record, let's have a look at the Moss Mother fight here. So basically, you want to start off with getting in these 2 up slashes here. You can pretty much start jumping as soon as you gain control, really. And then you want to do that damage tank there. I should probably use the... See this damage tank here? It lets you continue moving to the right with Moss Mother, whilst also getting in a bit more damage there. So you just move to the right, do an up slash whilst falling on her, and then you go through here. So as well, here, let's see, oh my god, that's actually a pain. Anyway, so here I do an up slash as I fall on the last stagger. You're supposed to really do it throughout all of them, but it's kind of tricky. So I just do it on the last one because it pushes me down so I get closer to the ground, and then I can go start up slashing quicker again. And you just want to stick on the right side of Moss Mother. Yeah, I was doing frame, but it's kind of a sieves because there's too many frames. You want to stay to the right. After you get the stagger, you want to be on the right so that she charges again against the wall where you are. And then once you've done enough damage, you can start, like when she's about to start attacking again, you come to the left and then you do the damage tank up slash again so that you can stick with her, and then you should have done enough damage if you follow that correctly to be able to get out of Moss Grotto. Okay. No, that is not the right. Whatever. Okay, anyway, so going out of this transition. Brother, what the frick? I'm so bad at this. Okay, anyway. I'm assuming these neutral pogos here are going to be absolutely terrible. Professional streamer? Hell nah. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. Do I celebrate Christmas? Yes, I do. It is Christmas day for me today. So if I say some interesting words, you can probably guess why. So yeah, I was very, very cautious when I was starting about falling into Moss Grotto, so I play it very safe around that hole there. But yeah, these neutral pogos, I mean, they're not the worst. Like, I've definitely seen people do worse neutral pogos, but they're not the fastest. Also, these splits are kind of cooked because this is before everyone started using exit splits. So yeah. Basically, yeah, just making way through Bone Bottom. There's a lot of, like, there's heaps of neutral pogos that I'm either doing in the wrong place or I'm just missing. I used to kill that guy. So I used to kill that guy because I would be really slow, so slow through this room that by the time it came for me to do the Beastfly Pogo, that guy would be in the way. So I'd just kill him so I don't have to bother dealing with him. But yeah, let's see this Beastfly Pogo. So we got a good spawn because he's very high up, which means I have to wait less time for him to move up. If you get a low spawn, you end up losing a bit of time. Okay, so we mess it up first try, and we mess it up again. And then I stand still for a while and contemplate life. Oh wait, is this not even... Oh, that's crazy. My bad. Hang on. Wild. We'll just ignore that I've completely forgot. Okay, let's get to the... we'll get to the same point. We'll just ignore that I didn't know that I didn't actually review this. But okay, this is the actual run now, so my bad. Probably should have checked that beforehand. I think it's kind of funny to see me just contemplating life there, though. Yeah, and I still kill that guy because he's just an absolute nuisance if you're too slow. So yeah, we get it there. Okay. Now, if we come to word record, so we're already in a we've gone through the room much faster, so we don't worry about killing that guy because the time it comes around he won't be there. So I like to stand, there's like this little notch in the ground. This is where I go to stand. I find it's a very consistent spot to stand because you're like a good distance away from the beast fly, whilst you're also a good distance away from the ledge at the same time. So yeah, that was very, very quick. That's the wrong thing. Okay. So I'm waiting here. I wait for him to get about this height. This is like, you can go slightly lower, you can go a little bit higher, but about this mid-range here, it's kind of, there's no really visual cue. You kind of just have to have a feel for it, which is somewhat difficult. But there is a pretty, oh my fucking god, I pressed the number key. There is a pretty good range that you can like have the beast fly at, so it's not that difficult. And then you jump up. So with getting height from pogos, the higher you are away from the object you're pogoing, the more height you end up gaining. So you kind of want to jump as soon as you aggro the beast fly. Like you can see here, as soon as I aggro it, as soon as I fall, I'm jumping again, so that I get the height that I need for it. Okay. So yeah, just generally bad neutral pogos. Don't have much to say about that. And then we're just yapping to Chakra. Is the audio too loud on that as well? It looks like it. I'll turn it down a bit. Yeah, you can see I'm like pausing a lot in places where you can do neutral pogos. And there was another pause. You do not want to pogo those objects there, because you get stuck on the roof and it's much, much slower. What you really want to do is just walk past them until you get past them, and then you can start neutral pogoing again. You want to go under this platform as well. You don't want to go up it. You can pogo off the edge of the spikes. Like, you can see where it's like still just in frame. Like around there is a good point to aim to pogo them, but you can also pogo to the edge, but it's a little bit more difficult. So I recommend, and I do personally in runs, I just pogo off the spikes. So yeah, the Gutama's good, but what you really want to do nowadays is we end up falling off the ledge. So you see I come up here. Why is my quality so shit? We come up here, we do the Gutama, and then we fall off the ledge. And then as soon as we fall off, we go back to the left and clamber or mantle on the little platform floating, and this just aggroes the Acnid a little earlier. So then you go back on, and then you do the normal setup and get Silk Spear like that. So yeah, it's a little slower to not do that, and it's not very difficult. You just need to get a little feel for how long you have to wait at each little bit. but it's not very difficult, and it saves like 0.2 seconds, I think. Just realizing now there's so many things you could do better. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so many like very, very small optimizations that like you don't even think about unless you're at the top level. So this is just general bad movement. So you can see me gathering silk there. This is for an old strategy for Belbeast, to do the face skip. I'll show you the correct method that I recommend everyone do. So yeah, I have to gather silk for this because you need to be at full silk upon entering the room for it. But with the proper strats that everyone should be doing, you don't need to gather any silk at all. I have no idea whether I actually hit the phase skip as well. Okay, I miss hits there. Okay, I don't believe I'm gonna hit the phase skip. I have very, very little faith. Oh, that'd be good gambles as well actually if this run does things. Oh, we do hit the phase skip. Okay. So yeah, that is not the way you should do it. You can see how much I was waiting around and how slow everything was. So this is called the 5 nail opener. This is what I recommend everyone should be doing. It does this from PB. It is much, much faster because there's less chance that you get an extra and you don't need to bother gathering any silk. So basically it's called the 5 nail opener because on this first dash you get 5 hits in. So I got a jump as my first attack, so this means I can do 6 hits and then a spear. If you get the dash, which is where Belbeast runs across the ground, you're only able to get 5 hits in before you can do a silk spear. So I'm going to show you, hopefully, if Belbeast cooperates first try. I am going to show you. Oh my god, that's incredible. Show you what you should do if you get a dash first try. Okay, don't take damage, but okay, Belbeast did not cooperate. I'm struggling. Hang on. Okay. Okay, I don't think Belbeast is gonna want to cooperate today. I should have pre-prepared a video of Okay, here. I can't even do it. Okay, I'm not gonna bother. So basically, sorry. You want to do 3 hits, and then you want to do like we did with the Moss Mother. You want to do an up slash. You want to do an up slash damage tank, 1 more hit, and then a spear. But yeah. Anyway, we'll continue with this. So we get an extra here. So because I got a jump attack first try, I can't hit Belbeast again because otherwise she'll start going directly into the phase change. And that's not what you want because you need enough damage beforehand so that you can kill Belbeast during the phase change. So, but if you get the dash attack, you're only able to do 5 hits, so you can hit Belbeast once during this extra attack here. And then we get another jump, so we can do a spear, and then we can do 5 more hits into another spear. If you get a dash attack, you only have time to do a spear, 4 hits, and then a spear. And then because I got a jump attack as my last attack, I only needed to do 2 hits and then a spear. But if you don't get enough hits in, you either have to do 3 hits and then a spear, or 4 hits and then a spear at the end. Um, I didn't prepare enough videos to go through every single Bellbeast circumstance, so you can always ask in the Discord for help with Bellbeast. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, let's continue on with this. Yeah, there's nothing interesting going on here. Let me see if I can skip this without skipping too much. Okay, I skipped too much. Tragic. Okay, so after Bellbeast, after you... No, I cannot. The video's too long. Cannot get to the right point. Hang on. Yeah, that's great. Okay, whatever. Basically, after you collect the Bellbeast Silk Heart, you go through the... You pick up the Silk Heart, you go through the transition... Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, once you get to this menu, as soon as you've basically gone through this, you start spamming escape to quit out, and then you quit out. So this saves 2 seconds because once you load back in, Hornet gets up much faster than she would if you just didn't quit out. So that saves 2 seconds there. So anyway, loading back in, you just... Basically, I'm just missing more neutral pogos, that's basically it. It is raining, hailing very heavily outside my right now, so that's funny. Don't miss the lever. I very much recommend not missing the lever. You can probably hear the hail through the mic. It's actually so heavy. Anyway. This movement here is actually not that bad. You can do a lot more. Okay, so that's bad. Basically here, in this room, you want to do 2 neutral pogos there, then pogo off that guy, do this, and then you pogo down there, neutral pogo there, and you should be fast enough where if you do all that, you can just get in front of that little bone crawly guy there, and you don't waste any time there, and then you continue your neutral pogos through the room. So yeah, anyway, this is very poor example of that. I didn't know how to do it properly back then. I don't really know if many people knew how to do it properly back then. That guy, I used to hate that guy. The flying guy I just pogoed off there. He was such a pain for me when I was starting out because he'd always be in the way. Yeah, this is pretty much what I do now, just with slightly more neutral pogos in a few places. Yeah, it's currently hailing and thundering, so you'll probably hear the weather. Believe it or not, it was very sunny, clear blue skies about 15 minutes ago. Okay, so this is the Flintstone Flyer Pogo. This is probably going to be, yeah. So this is the slow, safer way to do it there. That is quite slow because you see I went to the right on the platform there. Instead, what you want to do is you come up. As soon as you get up here, you don't bother going to the right at all. You just go straight to the left here, and then you just wait. You just wait a little bit here until he gets about the same height as the platform you're standing on. Then you just move to the right and pogo him, and that should be perfectly timed for you to be able to get a nice pogo up there and skip having to go around the long way. Oh, I did know to go down. That's shocking. But yeah, this movement's just... I mean, I feel like early game, there's not going to be much for me to say apart from I did bad neutral pogos in the wrong places, so... So here you don't need to mantle on that big block there. I'm not going to bother showing it, but if you wait a little bit, you can jump on that big block instead of mantling. You can just go straight on top of it. Alright, let's see if how much I butcher this ant arena. Okay, yeah. I'll show you how to do it properly. So basically, you want to come in and you want to pogo, you want to be high to avoid the hitbox that basically starts the arena, the trigger box or whatever you want to call it. So you want to get as close to the first ant as possible before you Silk Spear. And then you just do another Silk Spear. And then you want to do, obviously, 4 hits on each of these little ants here, like that. And then you want to do 1 hit on that ant, come over to this ant, up slash and Silk Spear immediately. Then you do 3 hits on that guy, a landing spear, and then a turnaround spear on that guy. And that's basically the most optimal way. There's a slight variation where you do up slashes, but they save like 0.4 and they're low-key just annoying. Like, they're not hard, they're just a pain in the ass to do. When did I get this 114? This was about 2 months ago. I got this 2 months ago. So yeah, in 2 months, maybe you could end up getting world record. Who knows? Alright, so now we have acquired Swift Step. This is gonna... A lot of people don't like early game, but if you've ever played Hollow Knight, Silksong early game is much, much, much more enjoyable because of the neutral pogos. So it's not too bad. But now we have dash. So you see me here doing these pogo dashes. Basically it's exactly what it is in the name. You just pogo and dash. Also, this input overlay is fake because I did not have an input overlay at that point. So yeah, you're basically just rolling through pogos and dashes. Yeah, and it's just slightly faster. Anyway, let's see this horrible ace fight. So we've already started off poorly. We're doing very little Silk Spears because back then we just didn't particularly do very many Silk Spears. But they're a huge damage source. You want to be doing as many Silk Spears as you possibly can, basically, because each Silk Spear is worth 3 hits of the needle. Okay, so that's the lace dead there. So now I shall show how it is done in word record. So we start off with a dash attack into a spear, and then if you go to the right enough you get a wall cancel and you gain access back faster, but damage taking is perfectly fine. But you can just see how much closer I'm staying to Lace, and I'm trying to push her to the edge so that when she staggers she goes into the lava, because the lava does 40 damage, which is 8 hits. Unfortunately here, did we get a lava stagger? I don't know if we did, I wasn't paying attention. No, we didn't. But yeah, you want to try push her into the lava. So we're gonna go here. That's the wrong one. This is basically what you want from Lace. So you'll see here, that Zed Butterfly is keeping Lace to the edge and manages to stagger them into the lava, and then we just do that again and knock her into the lava again. So that does way more damage than we can do just naturally. Anyway, continuing on. So we're going into probably the biggest RNG split in the entire run. So the Hokers obviously can give you different amounts of spines, and they can spawn the spines in different orientations around themselves. So you either get 6 or 4 spines per, like, whenever they spawn them in. So yeah. So we go up here and we go into the room and we bench, because we're gonna want to save and quit back to this bench, because it's a bit of a walk back from the Hokers. So yeah, we just accept the Flexile Spines quest. And now we're on our way to fight the Hokers. Okay, so falling off the platform is not a great start. But yeah, this is very inoptimal, so I'm not even gonna bother really showing this. I'm just gonna go straight to the console, because that probably shows it best. Okay, my internet's just dying. Lol. Alright, never mind. So anyway, you want to basically get on top of the Hokers, and you want to pogo off them, and then if you time it right, you can spear all the spines from the top, and that is much faster. So yeah, anyway, we save and quit after getting enough spines, just because it's much faster. Then we have to go through this boring ass cutscene. Okay, I think my internet's back now. Lovely. Let's skip to just the Hokers. So you see here, I go up and pogo, and then I spear all of those. And it's just a way to gather much more spines, because if you don't, you end up losing them. And yeah, that's you just get so much more spines when you do it like that. Okay, anyway, yeah, so you basically just want to pogo spear all those spines. So here, you can see I'm going for a fourth chorus skip, but I'm going for the heel skip, which is, well, I try for a healer skip first because you don't actually have enough time before the fourth chorus scream to just do the heel skip off the back. So I go for it, fail, and then for the second time, I do the heel skip. So basically, I just do a sprint jump off the edge, and then I do a dash, press heel immediately, and then you carry a little bit of momentum when you heal if you're in the air. So you go slightly further to the left, and then you just press cloak immediately afterwards and just glide. So let's see, in word record, I actually do get it first try because I've low-key been struggling with it, but we'll ignore that. So here we don't go up and grab that silk, we just go straight through, do 3 pogo dashes, and basically you just jump, cloak once you're at the right, pretty much just after max height, and then you float a bit, and then you dash, and then you cloak again, and you just make it to mantle on the edge there. Yeah. So anyway, continuing on, we're going up to Grandma Bell, and we're gonna have to do one more skip. Which is the crawl skip, which some people have struggles with, but there is a pretty good setup for it that works consistently. So yeah, this is just pretty sloppy movement, really, all in all. I do recommend watching ComSobs, which is Community Sum of Best, which is just the fastest anyone's done a segment, to see what the best movement is for each section. But yeah, we're not doing too badly overall, I would say. I thought this run would be of a lot lower quality, but that'll probably start happening once we get to Act 2. So now we enter Greymoor. We go past Chakra, and now this is where the crawl skip is. So you can see I wait in the specific spot between the 2 grass blades. You can go slightly further forward, so you're on the edge of the grass in front of Hornet. And then I wait for the crawl to make a sound again, and then I move slightly further forward, as you saw there, and then I dash and pogo off both of them. Let's see how if World Record has a different RNG, because there's 2 different types of attacks that each crawl can do. So now we get the same. So yeah, I stand on the edge of the bit of grass there, and then I move slightly forward when the crawl does a little telegraph that it's about to attack, and then I dash forward as soon as it starts moving, and then pogo off both of them in succession. Then you can do this little underplat there, which saves a little bit more time. I'm assuming I don't do that. No. Oh, I do, but I fail. Oh, okay, and this is incredible. There we go, the mistakes are starting to come through, and I don't bother trying to do it again. So anyway, you can take this bench here. And now we are obviously going off to fight Morwing. More incredible movement. So here, there's a thing you can do called Arena Skip, where you pogo off a bunch of crawls, gain a bunch of height, but it's really hard, and I wouldn't... Okay, it's not really hard, but I wouldn't recommend it for new runners at all. If you want to see how it's done, just watch the comsob, which there's links to it everywhere. So, let's see how I do this arena. Okay, so this is not the best way to do this arena at all. Yeah, I'm trying to get a silk free heal. So yeah, that is not the way that you want to do this arena in the slightest. So back to word record. I recommend everyone do this. This is just the best way, like without a doubt, to do this. Because there's much smaller chance that the last guy goes underground and you lose time. So anyway, you want to do a slash dash slash, and then after the last slash you dash again, and then you spear, and it hits both of them, and then you can just do a dash attack and pogo. Then spear, dash attack, spear, and 2 hits and he's dead. And there's a very small chance that the last guy goes underground and you lose a bunch of time to that. So anyway, okay, this is also bad movement. I'm trying to gather silk, which you don't need. You can just fall straight down. I'm imagining there's a fast cycle you can do. Yeah, where you go to the right platform that's just on the bottom right of the screen. You go to that first and then pogo off the spike that's on the spinning wheel. But it's you do need to be a little bit faster to be able to make that. But what I did there is perfectly fine, and it's a good backup if you miss the fast one. This is just poor movement through here, really. It's fine, but it's just a little slow. I probably recommend watching the comsob for this split, because it's much better than everything I've done for this. So now it's time for Morwing. So this fight is going to be done very poorly here, because this was before we realized that you want to get Morwing to dive to the left against the wall. So yeah, this is just poor. I'm not even gonna... I don't think I'm gonna bother showing this properly. Just gonna go straight to show you how you should do it in word record. So that's the better movement there as well. And then this is the fast cycle you can do there, where you go under like that and then poke off that. That's just slightly faster. So basically from the start, you want to get to the left side of Morwing as fast as possible. And now we're just waiting for Morwing to do a dive. There's a chance he doesn't do it, which is just a lot of time loss. So here he does the dive, and you want to bring him all the way to this wall. So this is because when you spear a wall, the spear comes back a lot faster, and you can start attacking again a lot quicker. So you can see here, like as soon as I spear, I basically gain control back instantly. So you just want to absolutely hammer the spear against the wall. Unfortunately, he does do a flying attack again. There is ways to mitigate this. But you probably is easier to ask in the Discord than try to show you here. So that's that. Okay, anyway. So once you've done Morwing, obviously you come to the left through Bellheart. You can take that bench that's in Bellheart if you're low on health. That doesn't lose you any time. And then we just move on to Sherwood. So this movement here is very bad. Yeah, there's just a lot of small optimizations that we've done to this movement here that's a lot better. So, okay, there. So there I was trying to do a skip where you can pogo off a guy and it saves a bit of time. So here you can see I jump up and I pogo off that guy there. And if you do that, you can then float across and make it there, and you don't have to go under and spend time dealing with all that. Okay, so let's see how this does the arena. I'm imagining it's very, very poor. Yeah. Okay, we do a spear there. Yeah, this is very, very slow. Okay. Incredible. Okay, I'm just gonna show the Comsub arena. Okay, and we miss a spear on that guy. Alright. Fantastic. So, if it likes to load, so this is optimally how you want to do the arena. You want to get 2 hits on this guy, and then spear both of those guys. 2 hits at the start gets you more silk and also pushes the flower enough to the left that you can spear both the flowers. And then you want to get you want to stand on this left side here. Oh my god. My bad. You want to stand on this left side here so that the guy is forced to spawn further to the right. So I like to use these little twigs as a good visual reference. And then you want to move to the right, spear both of them like that. And then you want to hit that guy twice. You hit both of them twice at the start. And then you want to pogo off that guy so that you can then spear the flower. And that's a much better way to do the arena than what was shown off in my first run. So somehow at 1 HP, I'm not sure what's going to happen here, to be honest. I've not watched this in like a very long time. I've done no research for this. You want to stand on that pressure plate and open that door because you want to come back through here for Sherwood Bell later, which is our way up into Act 2. Okay, you'd rather mantle on that platform than open your cloak. You also want to pogo the flower rather than just slash it. I don't know if I knew that back then. Okay. This silk gathering is rather poor, and I take a heal. Yeah, so this was before. Oh, this is very old. So this is Oh wow, that's incredible. I actually did do the slashes. I'm surprised. I thought I was still doing Guttermas at that point. I slightly mess it up. I should probably show the best way to do that. Oh, and I fell. Yeah, you don't want to fall. What am I doing here? I have to waste more time doing a Gutterma. Yeah, this is very bad silk gathering. I'll show you the best silk gathering methods in a moment, and we do that slowly. So here we're gonna do a heal skip, hopefully. Yeah, this is just copy exactly that. That's the easiest way to do that heal skip there. Okay, so if we go back to this. Okay, so we start gathering silk in this room. This is not hard to do. It looks pretty fancy, but it's not hard to do. So basically we come here, we want to do 1 up slash on this flower, and then we jump, do an up slash and dash into this little ledge right here, and then we pogo off the flower again. So I'll just show it here. Like that. Let's slow it down. So we do an up slash, jump, up slash as the flower comes out, and then pogo, and then we pogo off that flower again, dash over. And then we just continue up. And then here, I'll show you how to do this properly as well. You do one Gutama, and then you want to hit the wall. This wall aggroes the flower, brings them over. You want to wait until the flower reaches about this point where you can see the wall between all the overgrowth on it. When the flower gets about there, you want to come down and slash the platform Hornet's currently standing on, and then go back up and continue slashing. And then that just brings the flower over here without wasting any silk. And then obviously pogo off that guy. And so here I get pretty lucky, to be honest. I wasn't actually trying to do this, but it saved heaps of time, which is why it's comp sob. You can pogo that guy, but here you can pogo this guy. You hit him as you go up, and then you pogo him again, wait a little bit, and then you dash to the left and pogo him off again, and then go straight to the flowers. And then you can do this method here if you have less than 2 HP, less than 3 HP, sorry, where you get a heal off before the flower hits you, which it's slightly harder because you need better positioning and all. But yeah, that's a faster way to do it because you don't actually get freeze frames, and it's also better if you don't have enough health. So yeah. Anyway, so now we're picking up Cling Grip, and then we're going to be off to fight Widow. Yeah, not floating in the elevator is tragic. I was probably distracted with things. I'm imagining this Widow fight is going to be very, very poor. To be honest, I have very little hopes. And this movement's probably going to be wrong. Okay. Amazing. I always struggled with this room at first because I always forgot it existed, so I always just fell into the spikes. So here what I was doing is you want to dash attack and hit the wall with the very edge of the dash attack. This double hits the wall because Team Cherry makes some very interesting code. So you have to do less hits against it. And you can do the same with this wall, but I didn't do that. I don't know if I did it here. And you want to damage tank through those guys. And then yeah, we're into the Widow fight. So let me show you what you want to do optimally. Okay, so we come down in this room. We do that movement because it's faster. And then you want to do a big jump, and then you want to do a pogo dash, and you should just be able to land on this platform and then jump again immediately. Do a big jump, pogo, and a dash. Then we do the hitting the wall thing again. And you can do it against that wall. I messed it up there. And you see we do the up slashes against these walls here because if you hit it with the right part of your hitbox, it also does a double hit because Team Cherry. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say because Team Cherry. So yeah, now we're coming into the Widow fight. So you can heal before you do the Gutama, or you can do the heal after you do the Gutama. It doesn't really matter. It's slightly faster to do the heal after the Gutama. I don't personally like it, so I do the heal beforehand. This is gonna be incredible. I wonder how many times I heal. Miss the spear. Overall, just like you can play so much more aggressive, get so many more hits in. If you want, during that attack is the best time to heal as well. It's basically a free heal, but you lose Silk. Yeah. I'll show you how I do the fight in World Record. I can't remember if it was actually a good fight or not, but missing spears, taking a lot of damage. Getting a heal in. Yeah, you can get a heal on the dash attack sort of thing Widow does. Yeah, it's a very slow fight. Not the best by any means. Okay. So yeah, let's see how World Record does it. So heal at the start again because I like that. And then here at the start, if you delay attacking her, you can do a pogo and then dash through her. Okay, so you can pogo dash through enemies because the pogo gives you invincibility frames or iframes. So you have enough time if you pogo and dash through an enemy, you can get through before you run out of invincibility frames. So you can pogo dash, I missed it there, but you pogo dash through, turn around, and you can hit Widow again. So you can hit her twice at the start. Missed a spear there, yeah. And you can see I'm doing these pogo dashes because the dash resets the attack cooldown, so you can attack slightly quicker. And also dash attacks let you pretty much attack again instantly after you do them. And you see I do a dash spear there because you can spear faster out of the dash attack again. So here I hit Widow just before she's about to leave, and then I do 5 up slashes immediately afterwards and spear. So this is like the 5 slashes after the hit guarantees that your spear will be at the correct timing. And we're just getting a lot more spears in. Yeah, I remember I went down to 1 HP here. Obviously World Record is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you get a lot more spears in, and it's a lot quicker. Yeah. So now we go through the really boring Widow Dream section. Not much to commentate on here really. Yeah, basically just go through these platforms. I'm just gonna skip through this because I don't think there's particularly anything interesting about this really. So here you can do a pogo, you jump off there, you do a pogo and then a dash, and that's slightly faster than just doing a big jump over. Yeah, there's slightly better movement. Again, watch World Record or comp sub. There's no really point showing it here though. And then we have the really long, boring Widow cutscene. So yeah, you just, once you wake up, you hit this lever, and then you wait for this bell to ring. As soon as the screen starts shaking, you can quit out. And this saves a lot of time, because the room goes through a big transition, you're waiting for the bell, and you just load back in. So now we're off to ring the last bell, before we can go and fight the last judge. There's a better setup you can do for the timing of standing on that pressure plate. I'm not gonna bother showing it again. Just really, I seriously suggest if you're having problems with a segment, just watch how it's done in the comsobs. Yeah, so okay, so this is before the patch that we play on now, where you couldn't skip the needle upgrade cutscene. Now you can. So the patch you want to play on is 1.0.29242. So that's the patch, the first patch where where they introduced the ability to skip the cutscene for the upgrade. And now we're just on our way to Sheldville. So throughout this, you want to be gathering silk. This is very poor silk gathering. Just seriously watch the com sub. It's much better than anything I'm going to be doing here. But the reason we want to be gathering silk is because there's a heal skip that we want to be doing, because as I said earlier with the fourth chorus skip, your momentum is slightly carried through when you heal if you're moving forward. So we do that just to get a slightly bit more distance without losing height. Obviously struggling here with these guys, but I don't think I do the correct heal skip here. I think I do a slight variation because there's a couple skips you can do that are coming up, and I definitely do not do them properly, but I will show them. I will show them done properly. Oop, struggling with this movement a bit here. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So there's a skip that you can do there. That saves a lot of time. Okay, so it's here. So we come through. We come up here. So I like to align myself with this little nook in between the platforms there. That's where I like to start off, and then I dash to the right, do a big sprint jump, float for a bit, and then we do a dash heal, and the heal obviously preserves some of the momentum, and then we float again. You can start pressing float really early. You can, as soon as you heal, you can press float. Like you see here if you look up on my input display, the top right, the very top right one, you can see I'm starting to press it like well before the heal is over, and you just buffer it, and then you just continue floating, and you should be able to make it there. It's not very hard, just practice it a little and you should get it. But here I'm going round because I want to do the heal on a different skip, which saves more time, but is much harder. So there's also a little skip here I don't do. So there's a little enemy up there that you can pogo off of. So I'll show that here. So you want to go. Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. So you want to go over here, and you see this chain in the background. You want to go just to the chain, just a little bit in front of it, and then immediately go back to the left, and then you want to pogo off this object. Once you're at enough height, you want to dash over again, pogo that enemy, I forget what they're called, and then you should just get enough height to be able to jump off this wall, and then you want to go up to the left here. I think this was not discovered when I did this run. Alternatively, you just go around the long way, like shown here. So I used the heal there, and then it's very awkward, but it's not hard, but it's a tricky trick. So you want to come up here, you want to do a big sprint jump off there, and then like I don't know, I don't really have a good visual cue. I pretty much do all of this off feel. You want to do a big sprint jump, and then you want to float a little bit, and then when you're about here, like halfway, maybe a little bit closer to this wall here between the cage and the ledge, you want to do a dash into this wall, and then like as soon as you touch the wall, like immediately when you touch the wall, you want to jump off it, and you should be able to make it up there, and that saves quite a lot of time to going around the long way. And then you want to hit this cage, do an up dash up that, then continue along. And then we're just heading off to fight Lost Judge now. No way I made that? Why you doubting, huh? I literally did like a heal. There's slightly better movement you can do here. Let's see if I make this. You can poke off that enemy, poke off that bell. That says a bit of time to going round as well. There's slightly better movement you could do through here, but like once again, just watch the comm sub. There's a command for it if you're watching in on Twitch, and I'll put it in the YouTube video description. Yeah, so now we're just fighting Last Judge. It's not a super hard fight, but some people struggle with it. So you want to go straight into dash attacks, not do that. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say there's not gonna be very many spears, but as I said earlier, spears do a lot of damage and you want to be spearing a lot more. So I will show how I do it in World Record. I don't think World Record had the best Last Judge fight, but anytime Last Judge does the throw attack, you wanna do a spear pretty much. This is pretty unlucky, getting squashed against the wall. That's just a very poorly timed. Now I'm probably going into panic mode. Yeah, and we defeat Last Judge. So that was a very bad fight. Do not do that. What you want to do is you want to do this. So I like to dash attack and then do 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, and then spear. So you end up doing 5 hits at the start, and then you come back down. Unfortunately, we get her doing the spinny attack, and then after the first stagger, I like to do a spear to wake her up, and then she goes into this phase transition. Just get enough silk that you fill up your silk bar, and then you run away, and then you can do 2 spears while you're waiting, and then go back into it. And then once again, we do a spear after the stagger to wake her up. Unfortunately, she does a spinny attack, and I get hit. And then obviously you always do a spear, and then so I should have done the spear earlier, and I should have gotten more silk so that you can do 2 spears during this. So this isn't the best fight example. And then here I don't do any more spears because I'm saving silk for a heal. So if you end up in that position, you should just, after she transitions to a last phase, if you're low on health and want to heal, just don't do any more spears. So yeah. Anyway, now we are entering Act 2. Oh, I skipped too far. So yeah, what was that? Like a 32 something. So if you're aiming for sub hour, ideally you want like a low 31, Act 1. So yeah, now we're just making our way up to Cogwork Dances. This movement is very slow compared to what you should do. Yeah, just making the way up. Oops, what the fuck? My bad, hang on. Professional. We'll just watch this again. Oops. This movement's probably pretty bad as well. You can do a corner correct here, or just jump like that. All these mantles there are slow. You don't want to be doing that. It's much faster if you obviously don't. So yeah, it's quite a long path from the entrance that we take there to Clockwork Dancers. And obviously we have to talk to Lace as well. There's slightly better movement you can do there as well, but really it's just, yeah, this is just poor movement really. I don't have much to say about that other than watch the comm sub to learn how to do it properly, though I think comm sub does actually mess up movement a little bit. Yeah, this is, you just want to pogo off these spikes here. It's not too hard, but you just have to move a little bit away from them before you pogo them again each time. You're being very cautious around these spikes here. And then you can always farm Silk off these Grand Reeds if you want to heal. Obviously we're doing the pogo dashes through them again. It's just the fastest way. And then so basically here, what we're going to do here is a damage tank so that we can gain control early and skip the scream here. It's called a scream skip. This is very bad. I'll show you how to do dances properly. But yeah, we damage tank so we can, because the scream makes you lose control, but if you damage tank, it gives you back that control. Already taking damage there. It's awesome. So with this spinny attack they do in the middle, only the right dancer can be damaged, which is why we start on the right, because when you do a spear into the spinny attack, only the right one takes damage. Okay, and that's the second phase done. Now we move on to the third phase, which is probably considered the hardest. Yeah, incredible. The lack of spears there is really crazy. And then obviously onto the last dancer. So let me show you how to do this much better. So I like standing on the very left bit of that black part of the ground. I don't know how to say it. That's just where I like standing. And then we damage tank. We do a hit spear, hit spear, hit spear. 2 hits there, and then we do the pogo dash throughs again, and then the dancer dies. It's very fast. Yeah, sorry. So we just see how much more spears I'm doing, because they just do so much more damage. And then the dancer should die, yep. And then here, we're starting on the left. So this is because for the third phase, this left dancer starts off much later, so we have time to get in 2 spears and lots of hits. Okay, I remember that. That's a bit of a stupid damage tank, and then I'm like getting screwed over by RNG. But yeah, we killed the dancer there, and then we go to this final phase. So I'm starting on this right side here because I want to do a pogo dash through to get enough silk. And then I want to spear against the wall because, as I said with Moorwing, you get control back a lot quicker if you're spearing against walls. And then the dancer should die in 2 hits. Yep. And that is a much better way to do the fight. And so once the dancer dies, you want to quit out because this room goes through a big transition and it's very slow, so we just quit out and the room gets transported immediately to what it should be. And then we have to talk with the statues and we get the quest for the 3 melodies. Okay, so this is going to be some very poor movement through the lower cog. So you do want to be doing these pogos through here. Okay, and we fall on the cog. That's lovely. Yeah. So there's this. So here, this is the slow cycle. This is much easier. You can do it at any pace. Just literally just copy exactly what happens here. Okay. So that is the slow way to do it. However, there is a fast cycle, which is harder to pull off. It's not the hardest thing in the world, especially with cloak, but you do need to be quick, and if you're too slow, you will not make it. So yeah, once again, doing these pogos but not hitting any ledges, not falling in the saw. And then we do a big sprint jump, get to that wall, float across, we go up. Then we okay, I don't actually do it. I forgot about that. I didn't get quite enough height. So here I went a little too early for my liking, and the saw didn't give me enough height, even though it actually did. What you're supposed to do is pogo off these saws on the right. Let me find a good example of that. I'm sure Gaia won't mind. So this is by Scene actually. Oh no, it's by Gaia. So this is where is it? This is what you're supposed to do here. So you come along, you do this, and then you pogo off that saw, and then you do 3 pogos here on the right, and then you head up. That is the much faster way to do it. So you don't end up waiting for the saw cycle to come out. Anyway, now we're heading through the worst room in the game. You wanna be slightly higher so you don't hit that. I guess I'll show how to do that properly. Just want to come through that. Okay, I also don't do it properly here. Oh my god, I forgot about this. Okay, I'm not going to bother showing it. But you want to, basically you do the sprint jump like I did in my first run, but you don't dunk where I did. And now we're off to the Whispering Vaults Arena. So I'm probably going to do some very bad setups for this. I think World Record also messes this up quite a lot. So I would recommend probably just watching the comm sub. That's right, that's wrong. We'll see how World Record does it though, and I'll say what went wrong in World Record. But yeah, this is a somewhat okay arena, like it's not the end of the world, it's not super slow, I don't die, so, you know. It's just overall slow. You want to be getting a lot more spears, so Really, you want to be aiming to spear multiple enemies with one spear, because obviously you do a lot more damage if you do that. So let's see how this is done here. So the start's the same, just the slash dash slash, and then you do a couple slashes. Then you want to do a pogo dash through, turn around and hit the enemy, and then you can spear all of those guys. Then here you can do that basically. Oh no, we do it safe. Okay, yeah. This is exactly how I normally do the arena. It's a little bit slower than the most optimal, but it's a lot safer, and it kind of guarantees that you do end up getting it through pretty quickly, because sometimes the enemies can be a little annoying and not do the right thing. So that's definitely a consistent way to do it quite fast. So now we're heading to Trobio. This is going to be some poor movement. Yeah. You wanted to delay that dash after that pogo where I just dashed into the wall. There's somewhat better movement. Once again, just watch the console. I'm not going to bother showing how to do this properly. But there is much better ways to maneuver through here. It's quite tricky with all the ledges and overhangs and everything. So there is ways to do it quite a lot faster. So I know quite a lot of new runners struggle a lot with Trobio. It probably seems like quite a daunting fight with the double damage and everything, but there is pretty consistent ways to do it. If you're struggling a lot, there's a good video by Nebula where he just does Trobio for 15 minutes. I recommend watching that because you get a lot of variation in different fights. So here I'm definitely gonna play badly, gonna play very slow, and gonna save my silk for heals or spears in the wrong places and miss. Trobio, he goes underground a lot if you get unlucky, and when he goes underground, when he starts going underground, his hitbox disappears and you can't hit him at all. So when he goes underground, if you spear him, it might look like you're spearing him, but he no longer has a hitbox, so you're not actually doing any damage to him. Like there, that might have hit, I'm not too sure. I don't have audio of this video, so I'm not 100% sure. But overall, this is just, like, it's fine, but it's not the best way to fight Trobio. Obviously lots of healing here. You really don't want to heal at all because you lose the opportunity for 2 spears. Okay, and we do kill Trobio. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how it's done in World Record. I don't know if this was the best Trobio, but it's definitely going to be miles better than what was done in that run. So we want to do a dash attack at the start. You want to do basically just copy that start with the dashes and the spear. So when Trobio staggers, you actually have enough time to spear him. Unfortunately, I didn't have silk, so I couldn't go for it, but I think I'll show you in a later example. But if you do that, it doesn't count towards him waking up, so you actually can get in an extra spear while he's still staggered. Yeah, so going underground is quite unfortunate, and you can just see how much more spears I'm getting in, and we're getting very bad RNG here. So if you've done enough damage, he will do the phase transition before he does his second stagger. So basically, to be able to get to that point, you just need to have done a lot of spears, because obviously spears do 3 needle hits of damage whilst only counting 1 hit towards the stagger. So you can see here, before he falls, like, before he gets to the ground, I do a little jump just to make sure I do hit him, and I spear before he hits the ground, or like as he's hitting the ground, and this doesn't count towards a stagger, and so I can get 3 more hits in and then do another spear. So with this tornado, you can get 2 pogos on it, and then you want to dash away, do another spear, and then go back towards him. I was kind of just in a tricky situation there. That was quite hard to avoid damage, but yeah. And then I miss a spear, obviously. You don't want to do that. Then another spear before he hits the ground, and then he's dead. So that was much quicker. And yeah, this is a fight that you definitely just need to do a lot of practice on, and just get a feel for when he's going to stagger, when he's going to do the phase transitions, when you can do spears. It's definitely a fight that needs a lot of practice, especially considering how RNG it is. You need to be very good at it so you don't get completely screwed over by the RNG. Anyway, now we are on our way to get Clawline. This is required for 2 of the melodies, both Architect's and Conductor's melody require Clawline. This movement's it's fine. You can take the safety bench. Oh, sorry. So there, I opened my inventory. So this clears the title screen of the area so I can interact with the bench. So yeah, very poor movement. I think I'll probably just pull up the console for this. This is perfectly fine. This movement here doesn't lose particularly much time. So I'll go through that later actually with the console. But yeah. Generally this is just pretty poor movement really. And then we obviously collect Clawline. So here is the console. So yeah, we just fall all the way down. It's a very long drop. You can get a pogo dash out of this transition. Basically, you've probably seen me in Word Record and doing pogo dashes like immediately out of transitions. Basically, to do that, you just need to let it go of your dash button, and then as soon, for some places it depends. I normally do it on field, but for some places you can look at your timer. As soon as your timer starts up again, you can press jump and then pogo, and you can dash through it. So basically we're just doing a bunch of pogo dashes through here because they're fastest. So here you see me do a pogo off this. This is because 1, it gives me more height, and 2, you can insta float out of it, and it like carries some of your momentum from the pogo, so you go a lot faster. Then we're just down dashing, and then so we're gonna come to the lava cycle room. So this is just a lot of pogo dashes. Well, not really, I don't do many, but you can see I'm like just making the cycles. So here we come along and we jump up here. So these lava falls are activated by proximity, how close you are to them. So if you move basically about this point here, or slightly further to the right, you start triggering that lava fall. So if you mess up, you can just come to this platform where the sky is on to reset it, and then start going, and then just jump off that wall, float a little bit, and then dash, and then you clamber or mantle on this ledge, and then immediately you want to press jump and pogo and then dash through this enemy so you don't get hit by them. Then we're just going up. So you want to do 3 wall jumps on this right side, dash to the left, another 3, and then you should be perfectly timed to jump up around this ledge, hit it, and then be able to dash through. And then we're just doing a bunch of pogo dashes through here. They're not that hard, they look fancy, but it's just really getting the right timing for that. And then yeah, so what we do here as well is we come along to this wall, and then you want to get a really good jump off this wall here. You see where I'm jumping from? About there. I like to oh my god. I like to dash into this wall just to get the right, oh, I'm pressing the wrong button, that's why. You want to dash into the wall so you get the right height, and then you jump out of it. And then a good visual cue is if you're about the same height as this here, you're generally high enough. And then we just do harpoons, float across, dash into that platform so you save 1 silk, and then we'll enter this arena here. So this little flying guy from earlier, he's I'll just go back a whole thing. You can see he's on the left there, and we just hit him for extra silk. And then we do this, and then hit him again. Then we harpoon that guy, and then we want to stay on this on the right side, because the next wave is 2 enemies, and if you're in the middle, they spawn on either side of the arena, but we don't want that because we want to get spears on both of them. We want to get 1 spear on both of them. So if we stay to the right side, it forces both of them to spawn on the left, and then you can go over, and then we do a dash slash, because as I said earlier, the dash resets the cooldown so you can slash again earlier. So you do 2 hits on these guys, you hit both of them with both hits, and then you spear both of them, and then we do 1 hit on that guy so that we have 6 silk. So we want the 6 silk so that we can do a spear, and then 2 more hits, and then we have enough silk for another spear for this big guy here. So we jump up, spear, 2 hits, and then another spear. And then as soon as this guy spawns in, pretty much you can just hit harpoon, and then it's done. So yeah, let's see how poorly it's done here. So yeah, you can see there I do an extra harpoon into the ledge instead, because you can still make it if you're slightly lower if you do the harpoon, but you use an extra silk. So yeah, I end up doing 2 hits on that guy instead of, it's just, don't copy this arena, copy the comsob that I showed earlier. And then I just harpoon it, because this was before we thought about the double spear on this big guy. And yeah, so now we are off to get the Psalm cylinder for Vault Keeper's Melody. This movement is missing a lot of optimization. There's much faster ways to do this now. So yeah, just watch the comsob, but I'm probably not gonna bother showing it. And don't fall into spikes. Falling into the spikes is bad because you lose health, and then you need to heal or take a bench. So yeah, don't fall into the spikes. I don't recommend it. So we have to wait for the steam here, which is quite unfortunate. You can go much earlier than I will here. There's also a lot better wall jumps you can do here that are slightly faster. So yeah, obviously I'm going to go take the safety bench that's up here. And then we pick up, you don't want to turn around by the way. Turning around lose like 0.2. So yeah, obviously this is going to be very poor movement. Okay, there's a skip there that I obviously messed up. I do want to show that. So okay, so we come through here. We do So you want to stay as low as possible, right, along here. You want to stay low, you want to do the dash like that. Just staying as low as possible so we don't aggro this guy until we're high enough to get a pogo and then a harpoon off them, just like that. And I'll just show you a normal speed. So anyway, we're continuing up here. You want to do a harpoon below the first box instead of above it. It's slightly faster. Then this movement's generally fine. There's slightly better movement, but just watch the comp sub. And now we're getting our first melody, which is Vaultkeeper's melody. Let me skip this, it's boring, I don't want to watch this. Oh, that's a bit much, damn. Okay, whatever. Guess we have to watch this. Sad. It's annoying, OBS isn't letting me skip to properly throw it. So now we're going to go get the Architect's Melody. This is very, very poor movement. I'll show how I do this movement in word record. For the most part it's okay, but can definitely be a lot better. Yeah, I hate that room there, so I take it very slowly. This is like okay beginner movement. It's easier. It's definitely easier. I'm deciding to get the bench because I don't want to die. So yeah, this bench loses a lot of time. But yeah, it is quite a good safety bench, and you can save quit to it for lace as well. Yeah, very clearly a good idea. I took the safety bench. So let's see how I do the upper cogwork core movement. I'm assuming I play it very safe and mess up a lot, but we'll see. Should be quite entertaining, honestly. So yeah, harpooning into the ledge. Then we're waiting for the saw here. Oh, we mess up. Are we going to keep trying for it? Nope. Just... Oh, we do keep trying for it. So you can obviously harpoon that big cog there, and then... Oh, turn around, maybe? And then you can get up to that ledge there. Clearly, I'm struggling a lot with this. That's way too low to harpoon. Oh, okay. Oh, nearly had it. Come on, keep trying. You've nearly got this. You've nearly got this. Come on, just waste another minute. I wonder how long it does take me for me to give up. This is quite funny. Oh, like honestly, if you miss it, just go straight to the bottom ring there. It's gonna be much quicker, and it's really hard to make it up there. I don't know why I'm trying. Just go straight to the left wall. And farm silk off the guy on the wall rather than trying to get silk from these guys as well. Just go farm the guy on the wall. It's much easier. So yeah, this is just really safe movement here. Going way further away from the saw. Very safe movement. It's fine, it loses time, but like if you're just starting out, it's safe and perfectly fine. I'm not going to show you this puzzle, this is not how you do the puzzle. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how I do the whole split. I'll just show the whole split done in word record. So we're coming here, we want to harpoon into this ledge. As soon as we hit this ledge, we want to jump and basically press up slash at the same time. If you want to look at my input display, I have it there so you can see it properly. And then we're just going through here. Boring, this is just pogo dashes. So here, you're going to see, you want to jump from like as high on this wall as you can. Like you see I'm jumping like right at the top there. So this gives me enough height where I'm comfortable to pogo off that saw, and then you can go straight to dashing to this ledge like I do here, or you can do a safety pogo. Oh my god, there's so many frames. Where once you harpoon into this, you come up a little bit, and then about this height, you can just do a pogo off the saw, and then you're guaranteed to have enough height to get that, to be able to mantle on that ledge there. So yeah, lots more pogo dashes. Good timing there. As soon as the ring goes down, you slash, you fall, you slash, and then you go straight up. That's pretty good timing for me. So around this notch here, you want to jump up, and then you want to dash and harpoon immediately. And then obviously we want to skip mantling here because it's slow, pogo off that guy. And then if you're quick enough, you're able to squeeze through before the saw gets there. Then we do another jump around that notch there, dash, harpoon, we make it up, and then we get 5 hits on this guy, which will just kill him. And then we do this. You only need 1 pogo there, but that means you have to move further to the right, away from these cogs here. Like, look how long I wait before I harpoon again, because you need to get far away from that cog. And then yeah, we're just going up here, and then you just want to harpoon, pogo, pogo dash, pogo, and then we're up. I do believe I mess up puzzle in world record, so, but this is a much better example. So with this, I side slashed, I meant to up slash. If you up slash, you can hit both of these, they're not really levers, but whatever they're called. And then down dash, pogo off that, and then normally you want to pogo, move to the left, and then when you're at max height from the pogo, you want to harpoon, and you should be able to hit this one here, but I have to go grab that and then hit it, and then yeah, the rest is kind of okay. Just watch ComSob for the proper movement, really. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so now we are getting the melody. This is very boring. I'm just gonna skip this as well. Okay, so now we're going. Oh, I missed so much. That's actually tragic. Okay, whatever. OBS is scamming me out of being able to skip all these cutscenes. So let's see how this drop goes. Yeah, this is, it's slow, but it's okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's skip all this. So this drop here, you want to do the pogos there, the slash there. Then you want to do, instead of the dash like I did in my first run, you want to just do another pogo immediately once you get far enough down through the saw, and then you just full harpoon, and then you just full move slightly to the left, and you're done with that drop. So now let's see the rest of the split. I'll probably keep showing you what record. So yeah, we take the bench. If you want to save quit back to this bench, you have to retake it because Architect Melody is a hard save. So you have to go back to that bench if you do end up unlocking it, but it's a really slow bench to get. So yeah, we're pogo dashing through the reeds. You don't need to gather silk here. I'll show you word record for the split and just watch the comm sub. Actually no, I'll just show you the comm sub actually. So yeah, we're just moving through here. Well, you saw me there waiting a lot. You can go way earlier on the rings. This is generally like fine movement. So I was too far to the left to be able to get that ring. The height was fine, I was just too far to the left, so it didn't, actually the harpoon didn't go in the ring. That's perfectly fine movement there. Harpoon in that ring's fine, it's just slow. And here we have to wait a lot for silk. Then yeah. Obviously I messed this up pretty poorly. So I'll show you how the comm sub does it. And then, yeah, I mess up here quite a lot. So, like, for safety strats, this is fine. So, you want to do it. Okay, you see me messing up this quite a bit. So what you can do is here, instead of dashing, you can do a harpoon, and it's much safer, and you're pretty much guaranteed to be able to get down here. But obviously because I'm dashing too early, so I'm bonking my head. Oh, I actually die. Oh, that's my first death. Wow. I'll spare you the run back, hopefully, if OBS lets me skip it nicely. Okay, that's probably as good as we'll get. So yeah, just going back up, having to wait for silk, which is unfortunate. That's what you should do. Actually, never mind. That's not what you should do. So yeah, we're just going back down. Very safe through here. You can take this very, very slowly. Interesting. You can take this very, very slowly. But yeah, I recommend if you're not confident, do the harpoon there instead of trying to dash. I'm just being incredibly stupid for some reason. Actually, no, I think I had never seen anyone do the harpoon there before. I don't think anyone had started doing harpoons there yet, so yeah, you can. This is actually so painful to watch, I can't lie. I wonder if I die again, that'd be pretty funny. Oh, we make it. Going very slowly. Oh, nearly fell on the spikes. Okay. We made it. Shocker. Did not expect that. Okay, so I'm just going to show you comm sub. So basically it's just the same drops that I showed you the drop earlier. But yeah. You can do lots more pogo dashes. You can do 5 pogo dashes between these 2 grand reeds here. That's going 2 cogwork dances and for the split as well. You want to pogo off that guy. You see, I'm not actually like going out of my way to gather any silk at all. And then you can go, you don't have to wait for these rings to get all the way to the top. You can start jumping quite a bit earlier. And then you see this, okay. So I do a pogo dash out of transition here. It's very tight. Oh my god, I'm pressing the wrong things again. It's very tight. So I don't do it in runs normally. I don't recommend it. You can just sprint out and then do a normal jump there. And then as soon as we mantle, we do a jump pogo. We do have to get that ring, and then we jump, pogo that guy, do a harpoon, and then come along there like that. Then we get this ring, pogo, pogo. So you can do 1 pogo for these spikes here. You can do 1 pogo dash into the wall. I prefer 2 pogos and then go straight into a wall jump. 1 pogo dash into the wall is probably faster, but I've never timed it. It's just like a comfort thing for me. Anyway, you do that skip, it's very consistent. So here, you want to come out of this, you do a sprint jump, right? And then when you're like just in front of the ring or like about the ring, you want to do a harpoon, and then you want to dash immediately, and you should perfectly mantle that. And then here, I jump up, I hit him, dash, and then up slash, and that gives me enough, and that gives me 3 silk, as you can see. And then, oh my god, I keep pressing the wrong thing. And then yeah, you just come up there, hit that, and then you have enough silk to do all this, and then you just jump, glide a bit, and hit that. Anyway, we're coming down here. So here is one Pogo God Pixel. It's not hard, but it is harder than other things you can do, but this saves quite a bit of time. So I'm going to see if I'm capable of showing the easier versions. I have not done the other versions in a while, so we'll see. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay, I need to actually, hang on, sorry. Would probably be a good idea to get the right save state. Okay. Okay. So you want to fall down here, do the harpoon. Like that. You just want to do exactly that. It's very consistent. Just exactly like that. You can pogo very late. Oh, where am I? You can pogo very late. It's very easy. As long as you hit the wall and you do 2 pogos, you'll always make it. It's not a hard trick at all. The only one pogo. See there, I messed it up and I had to back it up by doing 1 extra pogo. Let me see if I can actually do it properly. But yeah, you can always back it up by doing extra pogos. You do need to be able to see that you're gonna mess it up. Like there was obviously gonna be a mess up. See, that's perfectly fine. But if you see you're too far to the right here, just do extra pogos until it looks like you're actually lined up properly. But never do more than 2 pogos. Let me show you as well. There's another method you can do where you do more pogos. Okay, I have never done this before, sorry. So let me figure this out quickly. Yeah, you can do that as well, and that's also extremely consistent. Yeah. Anyway, continuing on. So we do the drop down, we do the slash. So here you can do the harpoon. I'll actually show you that as well. I'll show you what I was talking about earlier with the harpoon. So you fall down here, and you just harpoon like that, and don't fall in the spikes, but like that. It's very consistent. You should hopefully have no problems doing that harpoon there. But yeah, continuing on. You just fall down pretty much, and then yeah, that's literally the room. The room, in fact. And then yeah, so now we are on our way to High Halls Arena. Obviously there's the safety bench that you can get here. show ringless, surely. I've never done ringless, and I'm not gonna show it because I don't know how to do it. Okay. My guess... actually no, I know for a fact I do not die here. It's just really, really slow. I'll show you how I do it in, World Record though. Which isn't the best, actually, but I don't want to keep using other people. I don't want to use other people's comm subs. High hauls isn't hard to do slowly. It's hard to do fast. If you take your time, do lots of heals, you shouldn't die. Unless you're healing in stupid places. But if you take it slowly, it should be fine. It's just that doing it fast is hard. Yeah, these are all very bad setups. But you can see I'm just like, kind of, apart from these maestros, taking my time, just trying not to get hit, taking a heal. If you stand directly under the maestros, the bees actually can't hit you when he like sends them off at you. When he does the spinny attack, you kind of have to move out of the way. But when he just sends the bees at you, they can't really hit you if you're directly under him, because they go off to the side. You do not want to go in the air. With the flying enemies, if you go in the air, you're just gonna make them fly higher, and then you just have to wait longer for them to come back down before you can hit them again. Just stay on the ground. Like, look at this. Look how high the bell throws have gone. Like, I can't hit them. They're far too high. So I'll show you the proper setups. I'll show you the proper setups for this. But yeah, you can just see I'm going through this very slowly. I'm saving my silk for healing, which is very safe, but it's also very slow, and in a lot of cases, not spearing the enemies actually kind of, you end up taking more damage because the enemies are there for longer and have more opportunities to hit you. So you kind of want to like just end up spearing them so you get through it faster. And then onto the final wave here with the double clappers. It's really good when they're both grouped up together on one side, because it means you can hit both of them with one spear, as you just saw there. Sometimes they do misbehave a little, but it looks like they're being pretty good here actually. I'm just not at the point where I know there wasn't really too many strats, but yeah. I mean, it's a perfectly fine high halls arena. It's tremendously slow, but I'm still alive. I'm on full health, full silk afterwards. Like, you can play it safely and you can get through perfectly fine. It's just really slow. That's all. So now I'm going to show you how I do it in World Record. So this is a much faster, much faster high halls. It's not the best one I've done, but I don't have the footage on hand of the best one I've done, so we'll just see here. So obviously, starting off, we want to do a dash attack immediately. Okay, so this is quite complex actually. So you do a dash attack, and then as soon as you finish the dash attack, you want to dash. Oh, you can't see it. Oh yeah, that's actually it's probably true. Oh, what the frick. Why has it done that? Crazy. Okay. So yeah, you do a dash attack, and then you dash immediately again, and then you slash immediately again. Just do 2 slashes. Then you want to harpoon into this reed here, pogo off him. Unfortunately, I got some pretty bad RNG there, and I take a lot of damage because just skill issue. And so I decide to heal here. Ideally, you don't want to heal, and you want to do 4 hits on this guy, and then spear both of them. And then you want to do, and then after you speared both of them, you then do 1 more hit on this last guy and do 1 more spear on him. So I did that kind of badly, but this wave, you kind of just wait a bit until I didn't wait long enough. So here I should have kept hitting this reed here until both the bell thrower and the claw maiden came down a little lower, so I could spear both of them. So I didn't get the bell thrower, but I got the claw maiden. So this wastes quite a bit of time here. So yeah, this wave's perfectly how you should do it. So with these claw maidens as well, you want to keep them away from the wall. So you can see here, I took all the effort to run all the way to this right side of the claw maiden so that I can push him to the left, away from the wall, because it allows me to do these dash slashes, which are much faster than just up slashing. So yeah, with these maestros, you want to jump slash harpoon slash again, and then you just do a spear, turn around and spear, and then go to the wall, and then you just need 2 more hits on that guy. And then you want to do a spear on this guy. You want to stay low so that the maestro also stays low. So when you jump and spear, the spear actually hits him and he's not 5,000 kilometers in the air. So then you want 2 more hits on him, and then you want to get 1 more spear in. And now we're on to the first clapper. So with this first clapper, you only want to do 2 spears on him. If you do more than 2 spears, you won't have enough silk for the rest of the waves. And if you want to heal on this clapper, you can only do 1 heal, and then you can only do 1 spear afterwards. So then here, this wave's really tricky. You want to wait for them to group up so that you can spear them all. So the first spear, you can either spear all 3 of them, or you can spear just these 2 reeds. And then you kind of wait a bit, wait for them to group up nicely, and then you have to either spear just the 2 reeds if you got all 3 of them the first time, or you need to get all 3 of them here because you have to get a spear on the bell thrower, otherwise you just lose heaps of time, and then we just finish it off. You need enough you need enough silk for this wave to be able to do a spear right at the start. So here, so you want to kind of group them up and then jump like the perfect height and then spear, and you can hit all 3 with that 1 spear. And then everyone's just, those bell throws are 1 hit, and then you kill that guy. And then you see here, I've tried to get the claw maiden to go away from the wall, but I kind of failed. And here's really important. After you kill the claw maiden, okay, I'll just go back a whole thing. After you kill the claw maiden, you want to come to like this point here, or just kind of any side of the arena, and you want to do a jump. This forces this first minister here to spawn much further to the left, and it groups them up much more nicely, so you can get a spear on all of them. And then you want to get 1 more spear. So you want to, it's the same with the first wave of the second half. You want to get at least 1 spear on the bell thrower, and you want to hit the ministers with the spear twice. And then everyone's 1 hit, which is very nice. And then we do a dash slash dash, up slash, and then you just come to the left. Either you can go on the wall, you don't have to, and then you want to hit this guy, you want to hit the maestro with the spear again. It's really nice if you hit the reed and the maestro, but your main goal is just hitting the maestro because then he's only 2 more hits away. And then we just kill this reed here and heal. And now on to the double clappers. So this is kind of awkward. Like I said earlier, you want to ideally get them grouped up on one side together, but you can't necessarily do that. So as well, I see a lot of people running back and forth doing these dash slashes. It's just slow. Unless they're really close together, you're just wasting a lot of time running back and forth. So normally I just stay on one enemy, or if he does that the attack like that there, I just go to this left guy and then I just stick on this left guy. Um, Unfortunately here I'm getting quite bad RNG, but now they're grouped up together, so I can get spears on both of them. Unfortunately I miss input there and I jump a little too high, but I jump a little too high there because I'm quite nervous at this point as well. But yeah, there we go, and we get that's the right height you wanna be at. Oh my god, so many frames, holy flashbang as well. Yeah, so you wanna jump a little bit. See, you can see here this ring. I mean, this like ground attack just forming. You wanna be just above that, and that's the right height to spear both. And yeah, that's HHA. Okay, so now we are. I'm just gonna skip this because it's boring, and hopefully it lets me skip it nicely. So yeah, we just pick up the conductor's melody. So you'll probably see me save quit here. This is. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, so just running back from conductor's melody to lace is the fastest. Unless if you save quit and you go to the cogwork core bench, then that's faster, but getting the bench is slower itself. So you still lose time overall. And here I'm just taking the bench for safety. Yeah, and now we are onto the lace fight. This fight is objectively the best fight in the entire speedrun. Anyone who disagrees with me is wrong. And we have to go through this long ass cutscene again, so I'm just gonna skip that. Oh my god, it's so long. Pause? I mean, what? Please, OBS. Okay, that's good enough. So, I'm just gonna let it show. This is definitely gonna be a very poor lace fight. I'll show you a much better one in a moment. Okay, so this was back when we thought harpoon down dashes were the thing to do, but we've learned it's just faster just to spam spear as much as you can. So you can, doing this is quite fun, but you can see I'm doing a harpoon down dash into a slash. It's fun, but it's slow, so it's also quite it's quite tricky to do. Yeah, I absolutely loved the harpoon down dashes, and I was so sad when I found out that they were slower than just using spear. The reason we don't want to do the harpoon down dashes as well is because you don't get as much silk back as just slashing. So it's you get more silk from just slashing, and then you can use that silk for spear. Okay, and that is the fight done. Okay, so I'm now going to personally do the fight myself because I love it. So hopefully I actually do the fight nicely, but so yeah, if you time it properly, you can get some slashes in between Lace's triple slash, which is quite nice. See, I stopped there because I knew she was going to parry, because there's just a very high likelihood that she does a parry after the attack, like you see that again. Also, after Lace daggers the first time, her triple slash doesn't have a hitbox. Okay, let's see if she... Also, for this attack, it's better to just damage tank because you save a lot of time. So you can see that, like, it just doesn't have a hitbox. So we down patch 1 from latest patch because has no hitbox. And then after she staggers, there's also a very high likelihood again that she's gonna parry. So yeah, that's that fight. So now we just pick up the silk heart. I had infinite silk. I was cheating. Oh no. So yeah, now we just get the silk heart. I should probably show the proper movement as well. For the dream, because I'm very much guessing that my first run does not do the proper movement. Yeah, so yeah, this is very, very slow compared to what we do now. Okay, I'll just show what we do if this loads in. So instead of hitting all the levers for the platforms, it's much faster just to like, well, there's a couple that you do actually have to hit the levers for, but it's much faster in a couple cases just to like do a wall jump and do a sprint jump. So I'll just show that here. Okay, so here we just want to do a wall jump and then do a pogo dash like that. Then here we just want to do that, and that is much faster. Okay, so now we're going to go into GMS. I know I died at least twice, I think it's 3 times, in this run to GMS, because this run is a 1:14, and as you can see, we're only at 1 hour 3 minutes, so we lose a lot of time to GMS. I'll just probably show you the first one, or the last one. Yeah, I'll just show you the first one, and then I'll show you how the fight's done properly. This is not the right movement as well. I'm pretty sure I did not practice this at all, so I had no clue what I was doing for this, which is also why I died to GMS. I was like, from my casual, I was like, oh, GMS is so easy. It's such an easy boss. I don't need to practice this at all. And then I died 3 times. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing for this movement. Okay. Let's see this fight. This is probably going to be very similar to how a lot of people do the fight. And it's just slow. Like, you'll probably see me doing a lot of dash slashes. Not even. Okay, yeah, this is very, very slow. Wow. Doing the harpoons, because, you know, you think it's faster. Okay. So, I see a lot of people doing dash slashes for this fight, and they just do dash slashes like the whole time. They're just spamming it. And it's really not that quick, because you're not doing that much damage. Whereas if you're incorporating a lot of spears into it, you're doing a lot more damage. Let's see if I can skip this slow. Nope. Okay, we'll just wait it out. Yeah, you can get a spear in between there as well. yeah, I'm just playing it very slow and cautiously, but still managing to take a lot of damage. And there's the first death, yep. So yeah, and then I proceed to like die a bunch more times. So let me show you this. Hopefully that's actually nicely, okay it is. So ignoring that messed up wall jump, you just want to stick to the left there. So okay, in this room here, you see me do this. I jump, I do a sprint jump, and then I slash. So this slash stops the horizontal momentum of the dash jump, of the sprint jump. So then I can turn around and start going back to this wall much quicker. Yeah, and this is just overall much. I actually know what I'm doing, so this is just the best movement for this room. There's nothing better you can do. Okay, let's skip this intro because it's long and boring. So yeah, immediately you're gonna see me start doing dash slashes just to get silk, and then I immediately start spearing. Basically, throughout this whole fight, anytime GMS is paused, you should be spearing her. Like here, you want to spear her because she's just standing still. Here, spear her again, and then you can get another. No, because she did that. But yeah, just anytime she's standing still. And here, for this, when she's staggered, you want to do a slash dash slash and do that one more time, and then you want to do a pogo spear off her. And also, this right wall here, she can go quite close to this wall. Whenever she's over here, you want to be getting as many spears against the wall as you can, because it's so much faster, because you just regain control much quicker. So yeah, we'll skip this, and then you can get a spear in before that screen there. And then I'm just trying to get silk, and then back to spamming spear. Unfortunately, I missed that. When she has the spikes on the ground, I like to use harpoon to stay in the air, and I can continue to hit her. But yeah, you see me like pretty much any time she's standing still. Yeah, that was a stupid hit. That was a weird. Anytime she's standing still, pretty much, I'm just spearing her, and that's the fight done. So yeah, I guess I will show me finishing the fight. Let's see. Oh, there it is. We'll go back a little bit. Probably there. But yeah, lots of heals. This is very cautiously slow, and you can see because of how slow I'm playing it, I'm just taking so many more hits because the fight's going on longer. You have to pay attention for longer. More things can hit you. Like sometimes going faster is easier. Oh, dashing into the silk. That's amazing. Middle rock fall. You hate to see it. Why'd I try dash into it? That's so funny. Oh, we don't get hit. That's a miracle. Oh, we get hit there though. Also, with these spikes, the spikes on the ground, you can hit them twice and they'll disappear. So if you're getting overwhelmed by everything, you can just hit them twice and they go away. They also go away whenever she staggers. And there we go. That is, that's my first run I ever did. Pretty incredible run. Lots of... The Act 1 wasn't actually too bad, but the Act 2, you can just see like how much I fumbled it really. Like if I didn't die to GMS, it could have been a sub 110 for my first run, which I feel would have been pretty impressive, but anyhow, yeah, that's it. Hopefully, hopefully that helps a lot. This was very very detailed. Yeah, it's like 2 hours of me just yapping about everything you can do better. But I do hope it helps a lot of people get into speedrunning it more and get better as well.